They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, or that real beauty is on the inside, or something like that. As nice as it sounds, I'm sure it wasn't an ogre who said that. Hi, Popcorn Recap here. Today, we'll talk about a 2001 animated adventure comedy movie called Shrek. Before we start, be sure to like the video, drop a comment, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you dig the summary to support the channel. Legend has it that a princess, bound by a curse that can only be broken by a first love's kiss, is stuck in a tower guarded by a fire-breathing dragon. She waits for someone to break her spell. Shrek laughs at this and rips the page off the book to wipe his green badonkadonk. Shrek goes through his usual day as an ogre, including taking mud baths, brushing his teeth with insect goo, and taking a dump in the swamp. Self-love ain't always pretty, am I right? The townsfolk arrive at his doorstep with pitchforks and torches, but he outsmarts them. Equipped with state-of-the-art halitosis, Shrek screams at them, forcing them to run for their lives. In the ruckus, Shrek sees a poster indicating that people are hunting fairy tale creatures for rewards. Someplace else, Donkey gets sold for a reward because he can talk. However, his owner fails to prove this. Suddenly, pixie dust gets thrown at Donkey and he starts to float, and also stupidly reveals that he can actually talk. The pixie dust loses effect and he falls to the ground. As the guards try to seize him, he runs into the forest and meets Shrek, who scares the soldiers away. As Donkey tries to tag along, Shrek pushes him away, expecting Donkey to hate him because he's an ogre and he's got halitosis. However, Donkey doesn't care. This surprises Shrek and he softens a little, so he lets Donkey sleep outside of his house at night. While Shrek eats his dinner, he pulls out a huge ear turd and lights it up like a candle. Stay classy, Shrek. Poor Donkey watches from the outside. Suddenly, fairy tale creatures gather outside his house, claiming they were evicted by Lord Farquaad. Wanting to get back his privacy, Shrek asserts he'll see Farquaad with Donkey so everyone can F off of his land, but in doing so, he accidentally becomes a hero. The creatures cheer much to his dismay. I mean, yeah, the guy just wants to eat his dinner and suddenly he's Jon Snow. Meanwhile, Farquaad tortures a gingerbread man, hoping that the poor thing will tell him the other creatures' whereabouts. Suddenly, a guard brings Farquaad the magic mirror and tells him he'll have to marry a princess to become a king. Farquaad chooses Princess Fiona, a girl stuck in a castle guarded by a fire-breathing… the legend earlier. Mirror tells Farquaad about something that happens to Fiona at midnight, but he cuts her off, foreshadowing something. He decides to hold a tournament to find someone who'll risk their lives to save Fiona. Later, Shrek arrives at Farquaad's seemingly empty castle. He sees an information machine that runs like a North Korean stage performance, and then their picture gets taken. From afar, Shrek hears trumpets. He follows the sound and arrives at the tournament arena to confront Farquaad. Farquaad insults Shrek and orders the guards that whoever kills him will be named champion. Shrek tries to de-escalate the situation, but the knights don't respond, so he and Donkey beat them WWE style. I mean, come on, he's an 8-foot ogre. Seeing his fighting abilities and plot armor, Farquaad names Shrek the champion. Shrek accidentally shares the other creatures' whereabouts, so Farquaad makes a deal. He'll give back Shrek's swamp if he saves Fiona. Shrek agrees to this. Later, Shrek and Donkey trek the fairy tale land to find Fiona and rescue her. As they get closer, the two see the infamous castle where Fiona is kept. They see a bridge over a freaking boiling lake of lava. Donkey confesses that he's scared, but Shrek brushes it off. Halfway through the bridge, Donkey pussies out and tries to go back, but Shrek encourages him to push through. Eventually, they reach the end. They enter the castle. Donkey freaks out again, so Shrek asks him to find stairs while he scavenges for armor in preparation to face the dragon. Yeah, like real armor, not just the plot armor he's already wearing. Suddenly, Donkey sees the dragon who instantly tries to turn him into a fried donkey. Shrek tries to stop the dragon by grabbing onto its tail, but it just catapults him into Fiona's room. Meanwhile, Donkey tries to talk his way out of danger by complimenting the dragon's feminine features. Seems like he's got a knack for getting what he wants with his mouth. Clearly enamored by his comedic bits, the dragon picks up Donkey, who screams for help. Meanwhile, Fiona pretends to sleep while Shrek gets up. Expecting a romantic meeting, Fiona is blindsided by Shrek, who doesn't show any signs of romantic affection at all. Sorry, princess, he's here for the swamp, not you. Shrek pulls Fiona as they escape. She complains that Shrek doesn't even have a sonnet, a limerick, or a poem to woo her or sweep her off her feet. However, Shrek is not responding. He just wants to get out of there. They enter a room and see that the dragon has completely fallen in love with Donkey. Shrek knocks Donkey out of the dragon's hands, claws, and chains the beast's neck with a chandelier. Shrek and Donkey run away. Angered that the love of her life has been taken, the dragon tries to turn the green ogre into a black one. Shrek grabs Donkey and Fiona as they escape from the dragon. As they cross the bridge over troubled lava, the dragon gets caught by the chain on its neck and can't pursue the three anymore. The dragon whimpers sadly. Oh come on, the dragon's been single far too long. Back into safe grounds, Fiona thanks Shrek and his noble steed Donkey for saving her. She asks that Shrek remove his helmet, but we all know what's under there, so he refuses her request. A hopeless romantic, Fiona wonders how she'll kiss Shrek if he has his helmet on. If you're really that grateful, I can think of other ways you can thank Shrek, if you know what I mean. Sorry, I'm like the dragon here. Fiona explains that Shrek will be her first love. The two buddies just look at each other and laugh at her face. Shrek asserts he's not her type, but a hormonal Fiona insists that he remove his helmet. Like, she really wants it. Shrek concedes and shows his face. Fiona is shocked that an ogre rescued her, but Shrek explains that he's just the delivery boy and she's really meant to marry Farquaad. Fiona acts like a teenager and sits on a rock, demanding that Farquaad rescue her instead, but Shrek just lifts her like a sack of taters. Later, Fiona asks what Farquaad, her groom-to-be, is like. Shrek and Donkey make puns about his height, saying men like him are in short supply. Or that some people think little of him. Oh, sorry, no short kings were harmed in the making of this video. Shrek plans on making the trip to the castle even at night, but Fiona demands to make camp, and so they do. At night, Shrek reveals that once he gets the swamp back, he'll go full Republican on everyone and build a 10-foot wall around the land. This hurts Donkey, who thinks they're finally friends. Donkey probes and reveals that Shrek thinks he's better off being alone because people misjudge him for his looks. I know, right? Never judge a book by its cover. Or never judge an ogre by its stench? Anyway, Fiona overhears this. Donkey comforts Shrek and tells him he didn't think he was a stupid, ugly ogre when they first met. Shrek appreciates this and they continue talking about the stars. In the morning, Fiona tries being a Disney princess, but her high notes were too much for the bird. Anyway, she takes its eggs, fries them over the fire, and offers them to Shrek and Donkey for reconciliation. Later, while walking in the forest, Fiona gets rescued by Robin Hood, who introduces himself with a dance number. Annoyed, Fiona beats Robin Hood's band of merry men. Afterward, Fiona sees that Shrek got an arrow in his butt. She asks Donkey to find a blue flower with red thorns. While Donkey's away, Fiona reveals that the flowers are just to get rid of Donkey. As she tries to yank the arrow from Shrek, she falls into his arms. Donkey arrives, sees their position, and teases them. However, Fiona successfully pulls out the arrow, and after seeing blood, Donkey faints. Along the way, Shrek learns more about Fiona and he realizes there's more to her than meets the eye. He starts to soften. Eventually, they reach Farquaad's castle, but Fiona, not wanting to end their adventure, uses Donkey as an excuse so they can stay a little longer. The two soon-to-be lovebirds cook food and have a bittersweet conversation. You can just cut the tension with a knife. I mean, they're eating wood rats, but it's still pretty sweet. Donkey cockblocks Shrek, probably as revenge for cockblocking him earlier with the dragon. Realizing that it's sunset, Fiona panics and says goodnight. Could it be the spell? Detecting the pheromones in the air, Donkey teases Shrek, who vehemently denies liking Fiona. Shrek asserts that he can't find love because he's an ogre. Clearly, he hasn't seen Luc Besson. As Shrek mopes through the evening, Donkey finds Fiona, who's now turned into an ogre. Oh, see this, Shrek? Y'all are made for each other. Fiona reveals that a witch cast a spell on her, turning her into an ogre every night. Apparently, this spell can only be broken with a true love's kiss. As Fiona cries, Donkey comforts her and suggests she doesn't marry Farquaad. You know, since Shrek's there, they're both ogres. Oh, what coincidence! Meanwhile, Shrek overhears Fiona talking about herself not being able to marry Shrek because of her ugly state, but Shrek misunderstands this and thinks she's talking about him. Yeah, drama. Morning comes, and Fiona finally decides to tell Shrek, but he's angry. Shrek explains that who could ever love an ugly beast but Fiona? Ugh, misunderstands this, thinking he's talking about her. But really, he's talking about his seemingly unlovable self. Suddenly, Farquaad's army arrives at Shrek's request. Arriving on short notice. Fiona is shocked at Farquaad's immediate request for marriage. However, as she looks at Shrek, who seemingly hated her, a misunderstanding! Fiona agrees to marry Farquaad. As she goes away, Donkey tries to clear things with Shrek, but he's too angry to listen. And in the process, he insults Donkey. Fiona concerningly prepares for the ceremony while Shrek still mopes in a swamp, trying to reject his own feelings. There, big green monster, the third act's just about to start. You'll be fine. Later, Donkey, being the ultimate wingman, confronts an insufferable Shrek and explains to him that Fiona wasn't talking about him when she said hideous and ugly. Shrek is shocked about this. He apologizes to Donkey and the two reconcile. Donkey tells Shrek to tell Fiona his feelings, but Shrek realizes that the wedding is going to start in a bit. Donkey assures Shrek that they'll make it in time and calls on the dragon. The three arrive at Farquaad's castle to interrupt the wedding. Just before Fiona and Farquaad kiss, Shrek crashes through and objects to the wedding. Farquaad realizes that Shrek has fallen in love with Fiona and decides to make fun of him. The town, being the sheep they are, laughs along with Farquaad. Farquaad orders Fiona to kiss him, but seeing that the sun is setting, Fiona decides to show everyone, but mostly just Shrek, that she's really an ogre. Shrek is relieved and now understands everything. Meanwhile, Farquaad is disgusted and orders the guards to seize them both. As the guards part the two lovebirds, Shrek calls for help and Donkey with the dragon in tow arrives. Farquaad gets eaten, so the guards quickly back off. The townsfolk cheer. Ugh, what sheep. The two ogres tell each other their feelings and the curse lifts from Fiona. Suddenly, she's turned into an ogre full-time. Fiona wonders about this, but Shrek just calls her beautiful. I mean, she's an ogre, he's an ogre, it's a win-win. The two get married in front of the fairy tale creatures. Fiona throws the bouquet and the dragon grabs it, implying that Donkey and she are gonna get married soon. Probably in Shrek 2. Oh, spoiler alert, sorry. The wedding ends with Donkey's musical number with the fairy tale creatures. Damn, he sings really well. Everyone lived happily ever after. Ta-da!
Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notifications and leave a like. It really helps the channel.